Manalamin muna ako, baka tsaka ang lola nyo. Stress ang lola nyo. So, hello mga kabayan! Welcome back to my channel, the Pinay Abroad Vlogs, the Kabayan Vlog version 2.0. Perfect! And I'm your India vlogger ng Davao City na nandito pa rin po sa UAE. Perfect! At ano na po, it's the final countdown. Sana makauwi na po kami. So, we'll just wait for viewers. Wala pa tayong viewers. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So guys, if you have, by the way, if you have questions, comments, suggestions, questions nga about traveling here sa UAE, mga documents na kinakailangan yung dalhin, or any questions that you might have traveling to the UAE. Ayan, may pangilan-ilan na po tayong mga viewers. Kinakailangan kong magsalamin ngayon kasi medyo masakit ang mata ko. So, welcome again to the Pinay Abroad Vlogs, the Kabayan Vlog version 2.0. So, nandito pa rin po ako sa UAE kasi hindi nakakaalam guys, ban pa rin po ang mga travels from UAE, Pakistan, and di ko alam, basta kasama ang UAE sa mga ban travels from UAE to PH. Kaya hindi pa kami makaalis dito sa UAE. Kasi nga, di ba, uuwi ako ng Pilipinas. So, hindi pa ako makaalis dito sa UAE kasi ban pa ang mga commercial flights. So, we are still waiting for the repatriation. Inshallah. Inshallah, I can share that one to you soon too. So, by the way, guys, so let's start no. Kasi ito yung pinaka frequently asked questions sa akin ng mga subscribers ko. Kung ano ba yung mga documents na dinala ko. So, I'll just give you those documents na naalala kong dinala ko ha. Kasi hindi ko naalala kung ano pa ba yung mga dinala ko. Kasi medyo matagal-tagal na din. So, these are just most of the important things that you have to bring whenever you are traveling here sa UAE. Kalat ang buko, no? So guys, if you have questions, comments lang kayo sa chat box natin and we will answer that. I will answer that to the best of my knowledge, to the best of my research, kung meron man akong alam dyan sa questions nyo. So first, ano yung mga documents na dinala ko, di ba? So yung mga documents, the most important thing that you have to bring is the school credentials nyo. And hindi lang siya basta-basta school credentials nyo, it should be attested. So, magpapa-attest kayo sa Embassy ng Pilipinas, dyan sa Pilipinas. And there is also another attestation kapag nakaano na kayo dito. Wait lang guys. There's also another attestation when you are here na sa UAE. So, iba pa yung attestation sa Pilipinas, iba pa yung attestation dito sa UAE. So, that's the first thing, yung school credentials nyo na attested. Next is yung mga certificates and trainings nyo. Actually, most of the companies, di naman sila nag-a-ask sa mga certificates or proof na naka-attend kayo ng mga ganitong trainings. Seldom lang sa mga employees ang nag-a-ask ng mga training certificates. But in case, if you have one, for example, if you have NC2 certificates, that would be better if you can bring it. Aside sa school credentials nyo, kapag may bachelor's degree kayo, ano yung mga nakuha nyo. So that's very important, guys. And there are certain jobs here, especially if you're working in the office. May mga hindi nila mapaprocess yung visa as long as kung wala kayong ganito. Wala kayong attested na certificates and what do you call that? Certificates and school credentials nyo. So it should be attested. There are other mga trabaho din na hindi naman na kinakailangan. So depende kung yung mga I think office jobs, accountancy, HR, call center agents, customer service, mga nagtatrabaho sa bangko, basta something like that. You should have attested school credentials and yung certificates nga. Third document na dinala ko, I remember, is my leave letter and certificate of employment. So, Okay, nagdala ako, just a quick story, nagdala ako ng mga certificate of employment and leave letter because I didn't declare, hindi ko sinabi na nag-resign ako sa job ko at that time. So hindi ako nag-declare, but actually I'm resigned already with my previous job that time. So ang inano ko lang is, of course, I will go to Singapore as tourist. And yung flight ko kasi is Davao to Singapore. And then nung nakapasok na ako sa Singapore, dyan na pinrocess yung visa ko going here sa UAE. So you can do the same thing too. Kung magko-cross country man kayo, it would be better if later on na ipaprocess yung visa nyo kapag ka nakapasok na kayo dun sa country na pupuntahan nyo first. Kasi nga, what if you already processed everything, yung visa nyo, ticket nyo papunta dito sa UAE. But then again, doon sa first country na pupuntahan nyo, mas mabablock kayo. So, it would be better if you process your visa going to UAE kapag ka nakapasok na kayo doon sa country first na pupuntahan nyo. If you are cross-country, guys, ha. So, I brought my leave letter and certificate of employment. Also, I brought my company ID. So, yung company ID ko, hindi ko siya tinurn over sa HR namin. So, I just provided affidavit of loss na nawala siya, but used that company ID as a proof na I'm still working with my previous company. So, yun yung diskarte ko. Depende naman talaga sa diskarte nyo. Kasi nga, guys, if you are a tourist coming here in the UAE, guys, they wanted to make sure, of course, that you are coming back to the UAE. Kung tourist kayo, of course, your aim is to become a tourist here sa UAE. Although, guys, let's face the fact that wag na tayo maging plastikan kasi yung mga immigration officer, they know already that most of the Filipinos coming here is magta-try maghanap ng trabaho. Even if they still have jobs in the Philippines. Maghahanap kaya talaga kayo ng trabaho. So, but they wanted to make sure na legal kayong papasok dito sa UAE. They wanted to make sure that you're not any victim of human trafficking or illegal recruitment. So, that's most of the documents that na dinala ko. So, yung mga secondary documents, I would suggest magdala na lang din kayo ng NBI if you can get one. Before kasi, guys, hindi naman required ang NBI until now, but just to make sure ba na if ever lang na kailangan nyo ng NBI certificate, mayroon na kayong i-provide. Kasi kapag dito pa kayo sa UAE kukuha, sa abroad pa kayo kukuha, medyo magastos and the process is not very convenient. So, that's it, guys. And, ano pa bang mga dinala ko? Yung mga certificates ko mga trainings ko, training certificate, nagdala ko ng NSO certificate, birth certificate that time. But hindi naman yan hiningi. So, the most important thing talaga, guys, na kinakailangan yung i-provide is yung attestation. That's very important. So, kung wala kayong ganun, may mga possibility na hindi kayo may issue ng visa. Especially if the job that you are applying requires it na kinakailangan may 4-degree bachelor's degree kayo. So those are some of the documents that I brought when I went here in the UAE. So let us entertain some of the questions sa chat. Okay. If you have question, guys, Hi, ma'am. Oh, from Rose. Hello, Rose. Hi, ma'am. Pag Sinovac po ba, hindi po makakapasok dyan? Actually, Rose, I don't have any information yet kung required ba yung vaccinated na mga individuals dito sa UAE. I'll update you on that kapag may mga information na akong nabasa. Kasi based sa information na nakita ko dun sa official website nila, yung sa portal nila is wala pa namang hindi ko lang siguro nakita, pero I will check on that. I will check that and maybe on our next live session, we can discuss that one. Okay. So those are the documents that I brought when I went here in the UAE. Sa mga kakapasok pa lang po sa live session natin, ito yung mga dinala kong documents. So yung attested school credentials, certificates, yung mga trainings, kung meron man kayo, leave letter, certificate of employment, and company ID. Kapag ka i-declare nyo guys, of course, that you have still a job in the UAE, in the Philippines. For example, guys, nag-declare kayo na wala kayong trabaho but you have a business na medyo kumikita naman, of course, you have to provide proof na kumikita yung business nyo. So, for example, you can provide bank statements or bank certificate. You can provide business permit ng business nyo. Kasi, if you're a tourist, guys, of course, you have to establish the fact, dapat establish nyo sa immigration officer that indeed you are capable of traveling to another country, because traveling guys, it's not a need, it's a want, it's a leisure. So hindi lahat ng mga Pilipino is afford mag-travel. So you have to establish this fact that you indeed can afford traveling. Okay, let's go to some of the questions. Kung may questions kayo, just message me in my chat box. Okay. Alright, so from Princess. Hello, Princess, if you're watching. Okay. Sabi ni Princess, paano po pag friend mo yung nasa Dubai na gusto kang kunin? Ano po yung pwedeng gawin? Okay. So, remember guys that when you don't have, kung wala kayong kapamilya dito na first and second degree of consanguinity and affinity, so yung mga siblings nyo, parents, grandparents, and children, and yung husband nyo or wife nyo, at saka yung mga anak nyo, yun lang yun. Kapag ka pinsan na, kapag ka, alam mo yun, third degree na relative, that means you cannot sponsor. Ano ba yung sponsorship, guys? So yung sponsorship is that yung kukuha kayo ng affidavit of support na kayo yung magsushoulder ng mga expenses nila dito sa UAE. But that's only applicable sa kapamilya nyo na first and second degree of consanguinity and affinity. So other than that, hindi sila makakapag-sponsor sa inyo. Remember that. But that doesn't mean that you cannot declare na may kapamilya kayo dito sa UAE. You can still declare, pero hindi na sila kinakailangan kumuha ng affidavit of support and guarantee. So, ang kukunin nyo is not the visit visa na kailangan ng affidavit of support and guarantee, but kukunin nyo yung tourist visa. So, sa tourist visa, hindi nyo na kinakailangan ng affidavit of support and guarantee, but you have to make sure that may trabaho kayo sa Pilipinas, you can establish nga that you are capable of going here sa UAE as tourist. But that doesn't mean na nga that you cannot declare yung mga kapamilya nyo na nandito sa UAE. So you can still declare kasi nga dito for the meantime, medyo strict sila kapag wala talaga kayong kaano-ano dito sa UAE. Kasi nga baka, syempre, kung plano nyo maghanap ng trabaho, what if hindi wala kayong mahanap ng trabaho? Sino yung mag-shoulder na mga expenses nyo? May matutulong ba sa inyo dito? Kasi syempre, responsibility pa rin po yan ng government na pauwiin kayo in case na na-expire yung visa nyo dito, ganon. So you can still declare na may kamag-anak kayo dito pero hindi kayo ma-sponsoran. In case sa friend, so kapag may friend kayo dito sa UAE, you can also declare na may friend kayo sa UAE. Make sure that you provide photos, mga proof na matagal na kayo magkakilala. So, ang magagawa ni friend is that your friend can process the visa through the agency. Pwede siyang kumuha ng, siya yung mag-process ng visa through the agency. So, of course, kapag ka-tourist visa, guys, that means yung airlines, yung travel agency, yung magiging sponsor nyo. But not to the extent na sila yung gagastos, sila yung magsa-shoulder ng mga expenses nyo or sila yung magsa-shoulder ng mga kinakailangan nyo kapag may manangyari dito sa inyo masama. So, sila lang bali yung magpa-process ng visa nyo, ng tourist visa nyo. But you can also declare na may friend kayo dito sa UAE. Na pwede kayo mag-declare na doon kayo magtitira sa friend nyo or sa pinsan nyo or kung sino mang kamag-anak ang nandito sa UAE. So, ganun yung magagawa. Next, alright. So, let's see kung ano ba yung mga nasa chat box. Okay, from Hello Kilama Vlog. Oh, will you please suggest name of company to work center, call center in the UAE? Hi, actually I'm not in BPO, so I was working in a salon and I'm part of the company, so I was a call center in that company. So I don't know any call center call center companies, but you can check indeed.com. You can apply there, and LinkedIn. You can create an account in LinkedIn. This is two of the most common job sites here in the UAE where you can apply. You can send your CV. Okay, from next question from Janelle. Hi, good day. Magkano pocket money mo nung nagpunta ka sa UAE? Sa ngayon po ba, if male applicant, mahirap po ba maghanap ng work dyan? Ang husband ko po kasi, kukunin siya ng two sister niya. Okay, so ang pocket money ko at that time, I'm not sure if it's still applicable. Magkano ba yun siya? Mga nasiguro sa 20,000 pesos or 30,000 pesos. Kasi kapag yung 30,000 pesos, magkano lang yan siya dito sa UAE? Let's divide 30,000 pesos divided by 13. So mga nasa 2,300 lang yan siya. 2,300 dirhams lang siya dito. So, yun yung pocket money ko. And then, yung ticket ko and mga hotel bookings, kasi cross-country ako, diba? So, mga nasa 20,000 din siya. More than 20,000. So, most probably, yung mga nagastos ko at that time was like 50,000 pesos. 50 to 60,000 pesos. If yun yung estimate. And then, she has also another question. Kung mahirap ba maghanap ang male dito? Okay, generally actually, mas madaling makahanap ang babae ng trabaho dito sa UAE. Pero depende din yan sa experience niya. For example, yung mga accountant, HR, medyo madaming trabaho dito ng mga ganun. For male engineer, ganun po yung mga trabaho ng mga dito. Kapag sa mga naman, like merchandiser, pwede po siya. Ganon. Ano po ba mga bawal na dalhin sa UAE? Ano ba yung mga bawal dalhin sa UAE? Mostly naman, I think I have made a video on that. Ano yung mga bawal niyong dalhin dito sa UAE? So, check nyo na lang po sa video ko. But, actually, the same thing, like yung mga chemicals, of course, yung mga drugs, ganun, bawal po siyang dalhin. Pero ano po ba ang mga bawal? Wait, I think I have a list on the things. Kapag nakita ko yung list, I will mention that here. Okay. I will check the list, ano yung mga bawal dalhin, guys. But I've made a video on that actually already. From Rose, ask ko din po, ma'am, tita ko po kasi uuwi ng December. Yung kapatid daw po niya, hindi masyadong mahirapan isama ako po ba? Yung kapatid daw po niya, hindi masyado mahirapan isama ako. Baka mahirapan daw po kasi pamangkin or tita. Possible po na mangyari yun. Okay, so from Rose. Rose, actually, kapag, for example, may kamag-anak kayo dito and sabay kayong papasok dito sa UAE, I think that will be a better idea compared sa ikaw yung magta-travel na mag-isa. So, just make sure that you can establish yung relationship nyo, yung birth certificate nila. Kung tita mo siya, birth certificate nila ng mama nyo, mama mo at ng tita mo, at saka yung birth certificate mo din. Ganon. So, establish yung relationship nyo na magka-close kayo ng tita mo. Kasi kapag alam mo yun guys, kapag group kayong magta-travel, most probably, parang medyo malaki ang chance nyo actually to be, para makalusot sa immigration. Okay, from Janry. May pinsan ako dyan sa Dubai, ma'am. Pwede po ako makapunta dyan, visit visa. Okay, so Janry, you can process a tourist visa kapag may pinsan kayo dito. So, yung pinsan nyo, he or she can process yung tourist visa nyo dito. Just make sure to provide yung yung mga documents niya kapag i-declare nyo. Kapag, for example guys, if you will declare that you have relatives here, of course, you have to provide yung mga documents to establish how are you related. So for example, magpinsan kayo, you have to provide yung birth certificate ng both ng parents ninyo kung saan kayo related. You have to provide those. And what else? Yung birth certificates nyo, of course. So you have to provide those things to establish your relationship. Kung paano kayo nagka-related. Ganun po siya. Okay, next. Alright, wala pang questions sa chat box. Let's try to check yung mga questions dito. Okay, from Javib. Okay. I always watch your videos kasi I am planning talaga to work Dubai. Hopefully by September. Wala po ba direct hire yung company niyo, ma'am? Kasi wala akong work or business dito kaya nahirapan ako. Actually, for the meantime, guys, wala pang direct hiring sa ngayon, ha? Kasi nga, bawal pa silang mag-direct hire from PH to UAE na sila talaga yung magsusponsor ng lahat ng mga expenses nyo. So mostly what the companies are doing right now is that nagpapatourist visa sila sa mga potential employees nila. Pero yun nga lang, kapag ka-tourist kasi, you have to make sure that you can establish your capability of traveling. So, kailangan may work kayo na medyo maganda-ganda yung pay, and then you also have a business. Okay, there is other questions. Wait. From January, about naman sa salary niya, ma'am, hindi aabot ng 10K daw, hindi daw pwede, sabi ng iba. Okay, so about dun sa 10K salary, dahil magpinsan lang kayo, January, yung pinsan nyo, hindi siya makakapag-sponsor ng affidavit of support, yung visit visa. Kasi sa mag-sponsorship lang, kapag magbe-visit visa kayo, magkukuha lang kayo ng affidavit of support kapag ka-visit visa. So, yung kukunin nyo is tourist visa. Kasi sa tourist visa, hindi naman kinakailangan ng affidavit of support. So, yung pinsan nyo, pwede siya yung magpo-process ng mga documents nyo dito ng tourist visa nyo. But you can still declare na may pinsan kayo dito para nga yun sa immigration, kasi sa ngayon medyo strict sila. Dapat at least may kamag-anak kang, alam mo yun, may kamag-anak kang mag-shoulder ng mga expenses nyo in case magtutulong sa inyo dito, in case may mangyari man sa inyo dito. Okay? Next question. From Rose, about po sa medical, kung sakali po ba na hired na po dyan, ano po ang hinahanap nila na medical? Okay, so kapag you're already hired here in the UAE, Rose, it's already the employer's responsibility na magpa-medical sa inyo. So, check yung lungs nyo, x-ray, communicable disease mostly. So, yung mga AIDS, yung mga, ano ba yun? TB, yun yung mga mostly na red flag dito, yung mga communicable diseases. Pero for example, may or sa mata or something, hindi naman ganoon. So, after you are hired, Rose, mag-medical kayo, syempre. At saka if ever may mga problema kayo sa baga nyo or may mga communicable disease kayo guys, pwede kayong hindi mabisahan. So, make sure that kung pupunta man kayo dito sa UAE na mag-visit visa or tourist visa and you are planning to work, make sure that nagpa-medical kayo sa Pilipinas to make sure na wala naman kayong mga, alam mo yun, mga communicable diseases. So, better na magpa-medical kayo. Para at least kung nandito na kayo, di ba clear na kayo, at least wala nang sagabal sa mga sa pagpapavisa sa inyo. Okay, pag tourist, ma'am, hindi na kailangan na abot ang salary niya na 10K. So, pwede ako na sa tourist visa. Yes, hindi naman na kailangan na 10K yung salary ng pinsan mo kasi hindi naman siya magsusponsor sa'yo. But, make sure, January, that you can establish na that you are capable na mag-tourist dito. Kasi, syempre, kapag ka-tourist po kayo dito sa UAE, kayo po yung magsushoulder ng mga expenses nyo. Meaning, it doesn't matter kung may kakilala kayo dito kasi hindi naman sila magsusponsor ng mga expenses nyo, di ba? So, pwede yun siya, John Ray. From Joseph Lina, I have offer in Dubai. I'm from Saudi. Then, I am just worried kasi re-entry visa ang hawak ko. Ang hawak ko, hindi exit visa dito sa Saudi. Hindi kaya ma-detect ng UAE na may re-entry pa ako. I'm not familiar for Saudi, ha. Okay. So Joseph, ano yung visang ang gamit mo dito sa UAE, papuntang UAE? Tourist ba or ano? Hindi kasi ako masyadong familiar sa Saudi na mga rules. Ano yung mga rules ng Saudi? So as long as may valid valid tourist visa dito sa UAE, I don't think that mache-check nila yung visa status mo sa Saudi Arabia. I think so. Yan lang yung share ko. Hindi ako masyadong guys, familiar sa Saudi. From Rose, pag Burmans po ba, ma'am, ano pong kadalasan na hiring dyan? Okay. So pag Burmans, actually, most of the mga HR, HR, sa mga receptionist, sa hotels, sa mga sales, marami siya actually. Kapag ka Burmans, most of the time, magandang that time of the year, ang maganda maghanap ng trabaho dito sa UAE. Kasi nga, medyo malamig, at saka of course, if New Year, new business plans, ganun, something like that. And this year, they will have Dubai Expo 2020, which will start in October. So most probably, medyo maraming mga tourists dito at saka maraming required na mga worker dito kapag kaganon. That time. Okay, from Jan Ray, akin lahat ang gastusin, ma'am. Gaano po ba? Ganun po ba? Yes, John Ray. And dun ka sa kanila titira. Pwede naman dun ka sa kanila titira. Okay lang naman yun. Actually, in my time, guys, when I entered here sa UAE, hindi ako hininga ng mga accommodations kasi nga may second cousin ako dito na titirhan ko. So, pinrovide ko lang yung yung contact number, name, and address niya at saka yung trabaho niya dito. January, ano pong magandang months pumunta sa Dubai? Maraming hiring. So, I always suggest na pumunta kayo dito kapag mga months like October, November, December, ganun. O even January, guys. As long as hindi mainit dito, guys, magandang at saka huwag kayong pumunta dito pag Ramadan. Kasi less yung kailangan na the worker at that time. Kasi less lang yung less time din yung office hours nila. So, lang sila, may mga offices na nag-work lang ng 5 hours, 6 hours. So, syempre, kapag ganun, medyo konti lang yung kinakailangang workers. So, huwag kayong pumunta dito kapag Ramadan. So, i-research nyo sa Google kailan yung Ramadan. And few months before Ramadan kayo pumunta dito dapat. Kasi pagka Ramadan, usually ang init. So, alam mo yun, dobling pasakit yun siya, guys. Walang... Okay, from Joseph Lina. Business visa. Okay, Joseph, I don't think it will have a problem kung may valid visa naman kayo dito papunta sa UAE. I don't think na magiging problema yung status niyo dyan sa Saudi Arabia. From January, ano sasabihin sa immigration pag ganun ma'am? Plano ko sa December para hindi gano'ng higpit ang immigration. Okay, so January, maybe kung kapag ka December, pwede mong i-ano na, mag-suspend ka dito ng Christmas, sa mga kapamilya niyo dito sa UAE. Actually, magandang alibay yun. For example, may kamag-anak kayo nga dito sa UAE kapag ka mga December na time, maganda yun pumunta dito kasi you can make an alibi na of course it's December, you want to spend time with your relatives and family, and also these times guys like December, open yung mga tourist spots nila dito, like yung Dubai Miracle Garden, yung Global Village. So of course you have more time, more reasons na nga to visit UAE, na pwede mong i-mention that magtutour ako aside sa I want to spend Christmas with my relatives, and you can say that you will go to these tourist spots nga. Kasi December, mostly yung mga ano dito is nag-open sila ng mga that time ng December, yung mga tourist spots dito. Thank you, John Ray. Shout out po kay John Ray. Ano po ba pong question? That's it, guys. Yung mga questions. Again, guys, wala pa akong information if it's required to be vaccinated kapag ka pumasok kayo dito sa UAE. Kasi recently naman may subscriber ako na nakapasok hindi pa siya vaccinated. So I don't think that's required pa. Last week lang siya pumasok, and I haven't read any news about that yet. Also, baka mag-require na din sila ng hindi naman siya kinakailangan requirement na kapag pumasok kayo dito sa UAE na vaccinated. But there are new rules right now na kinakailangan kayong may green pass or may mga scanner na sila na sa mga, for example, malls and other establishments na dapat vaccinated kayo. So, yun lang yung magiging problema nyo. Pero, as per the requirement na papasok kayo dito sa UAE na kailangan vaccinated na kayo, wala pa akong narinig na ganon. Okay. Thank you, Rose. From Mark. Mark ba ito siya? Tips on saving and side hustle, please. Okay. So, this for saving talaga. Okay. So, dito sa Abu Dhabi, one of the things that nakakatipid ako is that yung sa transportation, I mostly avail the 1 month what do you call that? 1 month pass with the metro bus pala kami dito sa UAE. Yung bus, may 1 month pass sila dito na 80 dirhams lang, and you can go it's unlimited ride for 1 month as long as it's within the city. So that's one thing that I can suggest. Also, I would suggest that you cook your own meal kapag nandito kayo sa UAE. Isa yun sa mga tipid tips ko talaga. Kasi kapag kumain kayo sa labas, medyo pricey ang food dito sa UAE. Medyo pricey. Ang gusto ko dito sa UAE yung mga damit, clothing. Kasi may mga brands dito na, alam mo yun, kung nandito ka sa UAE, afford mo lang. Pero pag nasa Pilipinas ka, hindi mo afford kasi medyo mahal siya. I don't know with you guys, pero ganun ako, to be honest. Medyo namamahalan ako sa mga damit-damit sa Pilipinas. From Says, namimili po ba ng vaccine ang pwede mapunta dyan? Like Sinovac yung na vaccine, pwede po ba dyan? Okay, Says, hindi pa siya na-mention that it's required na yung mga yung mga required vaccine na kinakailangan mo dito sa UAE. So, hindi pa siya required na vaccinated ka. Wala pa akong nabasang ganun na balita. Actually, Rose. So, I don't think na bawal pag Sinovac. Sinopharm naman ang amin dito. Di ba parang sa China din yung Sinovac. At saka Sinopharm is China din. Okay. Wala pa po silang Okay, from January, magkano basic salary dyan, ma'am? I'm not sure, January, kasi alam mo yung walang basic salary dito sa UAE, ha? That's one thing that I really can share. Kasi nga, may mga trabaho na, for example, depende talaga sa company. May mga trabaho na pareho kayong HR assistant, pero 5,000 ang kinikita mo, 4,000 ang kinikita mo. Depende talaga, wala siyang, hindi siya katulad sa Pilipinas na may minimum salary yung sa province and city. Dito sa UAE, depende talaga sa makipag-negotiate ka, and depende din sa experience mo yan. So, swerte ka kung malaki ang offer mo. Siguro magsa-start ka sa mga offices like reception, admin assistant, HR, mga 3,000 dirhams. Pero syempre yung iba, medyo mababa. Like for example, domestic helper, yung mga cleaner, medyo mababa yun siya. Depende din talaga din sa pag negotiate mo. Walang minimum wage dito. Pero the good thing about the salary here is there is no tax. So kung what you are earning it's yours. Walang tax yung salary dito. Yung mga may tax lang is yung mga some services and yung food. May tax dito. But your salary, it doesn't have tax. From Mid-Asif, hello. Sometimes guys, I speak in English, although my English communication skills is not very good. So sometimes I speak in English because there are people also who are watching from India, from Pakistan, and they wanted to know also these things, guys. So if you ever hear me speaking in English, that means someone requested for me to speak in English. Kasi minsan I'm not very confident with my English skills. Kasi medyo bulol ako, at saka yung pronunciation ko hindi masyadong maganda. So I seldom speak English. Actually mix siya. But now I'm speaking in English because someone is requesting. So from Mid-Asif, hello, from India, I think so. He said, what will be the good and cheapest area for the accommodation in Abu Dhabi? Actually, Mid-Asif, MD Asif. Most of the accommodations here, of course, if you are in the city, that will be a lot more expensive. When you are outside the city, that means like, for example, Khalifa City A, Musafa area, those accommodation is very cheap. But the problem is you have to travel like 1 hour or more, especially if you are traveling by public transport. So those are the risks those are the things that you have to weigh if you want to work here. So if in the city, of course, it's a lot, but I don't think it's like, for example, if you want a room, maybe there is a difference of 300 to 500 dirhams, and if that's the difference, like 300 to 500 dirhams, the difference in price. But the bad thing about, if you don't have a car, if you're taking public transport, if you're living outside the city, you have to travel. So it can take a lot of your energy and time. From January, okay. Guys, we are in the last part of our live sessions. Last question from January. Mahal ba yung bahay dyan sa Dubai, ma'am? So, okay. So, comparing Abu Dhabi and Dubai, medyo mas mahal yung Dubai kasi nga may mga mura naman din na area sa Dubai. I'm not very familiar sa Dubai, guys, to be honest, because I'm living in Abu Dhabi. Sa Dubai, may mga flat and accommodations that you are paying the accommodation, and then you are paying the diwa. So that's additional 200 to 300 depending on your bill. Ang diwa is yung electricity, electricity and water. And may mga extra pa sa internet and gas, yon sa Dubai. Pero dito sa Abu Dhabi, wala akong narinig na kailangan mo pang magbayad ng additional for electric utilities. So dito sa Abu Dhabi, it's a lot more cheaper, I think, because kasama na siya like 600 dirhams, 700 dirhams for bed space, or pagka-partition kayo, maybe 900 to 1,000 pwede kayo makahanap. And all in na yun siya. So it's already the electricity is already included. Okay, that's it, guys. That's our live sessions for today. Again, if you have any more questions, guys, about traveling in here in the UAE, if you have suggestions in my next vlogs, you can follow me in my Instagram account, Pinay Abroad Vlogs, and DM me your questions there. And follow me there, guys. DM me your questions and suggestions for my next vlog. And most of the time, guys, if you have, I have new videos, I have live sessions, Q&A, live streaming in my YouTube. I always post here in my Instagram. So please follow me, guys. I hope you learned something from this video. Just a disclaimer, these are just, you know, the basic information that I know. Of course, you still have to consult to check some other sources, guys. Pwede din kayo manood ng ibang vlogs because what I am telling you here is just my basic knowledge. So kung may mga iba mang updated information, you can refer to the websites. You can check in Google, guys. Maraming websites na makikita nyo dito sa UAE. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Oh, our live session might be kailan ba? Maybe on July 5. So that's Monday or July 6, guys. So I will post in my Instagram account for any updates. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.